All right, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the most on your house shot is blessing you all day. By his mercies, you are consumed or alive in the most on your house shot's body and naturally alive. Man, it's crazy because it was just raining earlier, like thunderstorming, and and I was thinking about this yesterday when I was reading Genesis 7, man, because how, like, how the most on your house shot to witness his testimony, how it comes, I'm sorry, in the volume of the book, man. And how it's like that even like that the flood in Genesis, man, that even lines up with Revelation with the many waters, man. His voice is the Lord, because that goes into the voice of the Lord, like overcoming, like that Genesis 6, right, when it says the world was filled with wickedness, and they pretty much during that time, just like now, there was they were of the world, man, and like that's why even like it says in Acts, like save yourself from its untoward generation. It's not even talking about that time and now, but but also too, it like tells the end from the beginning. The scriptures is the same thing. The untoward generation, where pretty much was a rebellious, a wicked generation. That was that was during the times of Noah, man, because he tells the end from the beginning, man. So in the house I say it'll be like the days of Noah. So that's just it is what it is too, man. But that just goes into show you how, like, let's just grab it too. And that and the wisdom of the world is foolishness to the Most High Yahushua, man. So we're gonna look at this, man. Let's just get into it, man. Genesis 7 real quick, man. Genesis 7 real quick. Genesis 7, bro. Genesis 7. It says in 7 verse 18, yeah. And the waters prevail. Yep. Just pretty much showing you how also to no we gonna grab into that prevail. And the waters prevail, and they and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went up to in the face of the water. So see the ark, what? And what was that? Like the ark, Noah's ark. And what was after the ark? A covenant. So like and this lines up with that Thessalonians, man. With like at that those in the gospel and witness the new covenant will be taken up, man, and call ever be with the Lord. Just how like in Yahushua, it's like actually going into Elijah, how he was taken up, or like Enoch was taken up, then Elijah was taken up. These are all sons of God right here, man. And going then Yahushua, how Acts 1 he was taken up, man. So that's the same thing, man. That's just going into the being of the covenant, like the witness, the testimony, the gospel, the new covenant, man. The word being in you. That's what that is, man. It's that same. It's a reoccurring thing, man. So so that ark, because Noah was the son of God as well, man, was taken up upon the face of the waters, man. So let's grab that again. It says, and the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the water. So see, yeah, let's grab this real quick, because Deuteronomy, because isn't this when the flood was happening, the rain, and then the Most High house said, what, my doctrine is as rain. So yeah, man, we're gonna we're gonna get into this. We're gonna look at this, man. So Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 2. Deuteronomy 32 verse 2. It says, and my doctrine shall drop as rain, and my speech shall distill as the dew, and as small rain upon the tender herb as the showers to be upon the grass. So see, that's what it is, man. That's pretty much, man, the Most High Yahushua's voice being heard. Like, this word overcoming the world, man. Like, and also too, we're about to get into probably, Lord willing, another video probably after this. That really was a baptism as well. Just like the Passover in Egypt, that was a baptism. Like, even with the the world, yeah, we was going into that was a baptism as well during the time of the flood. But that's something else for another day. But I mean, something else for another time. But yeah, let's get this chapter, Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 2. It says, my doctrine shall drop as a rain, my speech shall be as still as dew, and small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Yeah, Revelation 1 real quick. Yeah, because it says the many waters, right? Like Genesis 17 verse 18, it says, and the and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and and the ark was taken upon the face of the waters. Yeah. Yeah, so that's symbolic of being taken up, man. The ark, been that ark, like later came a covenant, not the ark of the covenant, but ark after that came a covenant with Noah. So after that, those are the covenant, those are the promise will be taken up, like in Thessalonians says, be caught up with him, and be forever with the Lord. But anyway, let's get Revelation 1 real quick. We might go Psalms after this. Revelation chapter 1 verse 15, and his feet burned like unto brass, and as if they burn in the furnace, and his voice was the sound of many waters. So see, and this furnace is going to a furnace of affliction as well. Also too, that lines up with that Deuteronomy 28 real quick. One of the curses that beheld Yahushua, man. Even Adam, also to the second Adam, which is Yahushua, son. That sorrowful, that affliction. And that's what that furnace of affliction is. So, that's something else, though. It says, his voice was the sound of many waters. So see, his voice was the sound of many waters. And then many waters flood the face of the, face of earth during the time of the flood, during the time of Noah, man. That, and that's just just think about that, man. Because I'll just get, because me still to this day, I'm scared of thunderstorms. I shouldn't be as a grown man, but cover my ears. But I don't man. That's the most on Yahweh judgment, man. Even before I came to the world, when I was younger, when I was a child, I never liked them, man. But now me knowing what that is, man, that's nothing to play with, man. Honestly, man. That's why it says Sirach 1. I was looking at this the other day, Ecclesiastes 1. Sirach 1, man, the Lord is to be feared. The Most High Yahushua is to be feared. Because imagine, because people was out there scared, man. But but now know what it is too. But just I was talking about this with my homie, man. When people do certain things, when they are who they are, they go right back. And I'm not exempt from this, man. That's why, that self-examination, that killing off the old woman, man. Because when similar to a pharaoh, man. After the judgment came, you went right back to doing the same thing again, man. So it's yeah, man. That's just not. Yeah, man, that's just not really. It's like the brother. It's like Jake in the street, like a brother, this happens a lot of times in the street, or with brothers, man, or people in general. But I'm using it as an example, man. Say sometime a wannabe street nigga, he about to get pulled over by the cops, about to get pulled over, and then that's when he calls upon the Most High, and Yahushua says, Lord, please get me out of this, and if you get me out of this, I'm gonna stop. Then actually the Most High Yahushua, grants that officer, favor to them, and he lets them go. Then what they back on doing it's the same nonsense, man. The same they back on the same nonsense, man. Now they back in with the guns out, with the being street, being hard body. But it's but you pretty much you was just asking for the Most High house, get you out of situations just for you to be going back to the same thing again. That's why it goes for that. Hebrews goes into willful, man. That's pretty much the point I'm trying to make. Kind of use a bad example, but that's is what it is, man. But anyway, man, be quiet, girl. It says so we're going Revelation chapter 1 verse 15. It says, his voice is like unto fine brass, as if they burn in furnace. His voice that sound as many waters. So his voice that sound as many waters, and his doctrine is rain. So that's what that was, man. That's what that was in the during the flood, man. That was the Most High Yahshua's voice. Of course, naturally, that's just his judgment, but and also too as a baptism. But let's get to Psalm chapter 29 verse 4. It says, the voice of the Lord is powerful, and the voice of the Lord is full of majesty. Yeah, exactly, man. So the verse here's 3. Here it is. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. See, the voice of the Lord is upon the waters, and the glory of Yahweh, the God of glory thundereth. Yeah, so that's why the mark goes into that sons of thunder. So that means sons of glory. But it says the Lord is upon upon many waters. So yeah, exactly, man. That's why his voice is like many waters, man. And actually too, that Psalm 27 lines up with that mark. That's something else, man. Sons of glory. But anyway, I gotta write that down so I remember. So I remember it, man. So let's go back to Genesis 7 real quick. It says in the and the flood was upon 40 days in the earth, and the waters increased, and bear the ark, it was lifted up upon the earth. So yeah, man. So let's get this. It says, and it prevailed, and the waters prevailed, and were increased upon greatly upon the earth, and the ark went into the face of the earth. So yeah, man. So it says it was and it prevailed, man. Pretty much, man. This is that, and you know what? That's all going to this is all going to the gospel, prevailing over sin and death. Like, that's is what it is, man. Because we gonna get into that, man. How this all lines up with the gospel. Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. It says, And I place thee, that thou art Peter. Upon this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So see here, Peter, this is where, like, he puts Peter, like, because Peter means rock. He's the rock of the church, man. Like, just how, like, in the wilderness, or before Moses died, he kind of anointed, like, Joshua as a leader. It's the same thing, man. Like, now it's just like the same type of deal. And also too with Elijah and Elisha type of deal, same type of deal, man. But also too, what was Peter preaching, man? Like, the gospel, the witness, the testimony, the new covenant, all that stuff, man. So that to overcome sin and death, man. But let's grab this again. It says, and this all preaching of faith, pretty much, man, because that's what the preaching is about. So faith of the people, to the increase of the Most High Yahushua. It says, and I also will say unto thee, thou art Peter. Upon this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevent against it, man. So see, that's all the preaching of faith. So let's go to 2 Peter real quick, man. Yeah, exactly, man. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 5. Yeah, because Noah during time he was preaching, like, faith, man. Because the law was, like, around, but of course the law was around, like, but this preaching was righteousness, was of faith. It says, because the preaching is of faith. It says, 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 5, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person. And notice how Noah, like the brother Tazaiwan said one time, out of True Nation out of California, shout out to them. Noah preached to the end, man. Like, it says he was the eighth person, so he's the last to get on there. A preacher of righteousness, bringing the in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. So yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. That's just what it is, man. That's what that many waters, how the Most High Yahushua voices of many waters, and that many waters was like during the time of Noah, man. That's that word. Of course, it was the rain, of course, and naturally it was the rain and the flood. But that was symbolic of, like, I speak as a man with this. Honestly, it's the of that rain is his doctrine. Like, doctrine, like, is of faith, man. And that's why in Hebrews and John it says the doctrine of Christ, man. That's really the doctrine that we need to focus on, man. Because, of course, doctrine, like the usual doctrine, like, because let me say this too. Like, the usual doctrine, man, that's good and all and stuff like that. It's good to talk about things of that nature, but, because, like, say when I first doctrines when I came to the word, like, about, because I still am by the belief, like, Esau is a so-called Caucasian, or the progenitor of the Caucasian race, like that, or the 12 tribes of Israel, or, like, or what's some other things, man, like, all this stuff that's really mostly time, like, or like, the virgin birth, and even though I never got into that, but that's all like doctrine talk, man. But testimony, witness, man, new covenant, that's for our faith to get built up, man. So anyway, man, that's just one to hopefully it's edifying, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, so much love to y'all, brothers and sisters. So peace.